Hello, good people. Hello on the Wednesday. It's been a week. I've been away. I'm still away actually in the mountains in the Norwegian side, but I found a nice spot to continue the streaming from here till I come back. Maybe I'll come back. I will know, don't know. Let's see. So far, so good. Eventually, the market didn't do much in the meanwhile while I was away. I was hoping for more downside for it, but it wasn't that bad at all. So we're gonna have a look in the structure wise and as well on maybe hedging position, and let's see how what the predictions are and where we go from here actually. So the dreams, we keep going on it for a bull run. Let's see if that's gonna happen sooner or later, but for now we just play the levels and the range how it is, right? So let's keep going. The first thing, before we go on the charts, I just want to point something out for you guys, like I always do. And this is my favorite spot to find the information. I know it's a lot of colors. Don't mind it for now. Just let me explain it a little bit. This is what I'm always looking once, twice, a day before the day close opens. It doesn't matter when you look at it, just gives you a perspective opinion how the market is and how we might actually behave in the market. Because there isn't the biggest spot of information than the charts only, right? Outside the charts, it's always a thought or just news what's lagging behind. So let's see how this is going. For me, for now, actually, yeah, we don't have much to take to the downside. So the only thing that I'm actually looking to maybe grab from the top and have like a re-enter of my shorts is this area, just because there is a lot of 150 axis, and after that we have a small gap. So we might not even go that high, but this is the area why I'm looking at it to have any kind of uh, adding position to my shorts if we're gonna reach it. If not, fine, we just continue. I'm still in a position, but so far we are kind of ish losing everything on the way down. So let's see how that's gonna go. And the biggest thing what I'm looking always, and we mentioned that as well on the Viking stream, is the flow index and where the money is going to. So like you see, and that's on the 4 hour. And most of it is kind of in the stable coins, and the rest is in altcoins. Like we saw already on some of the altcoins as well. We had a quite nice push. We still see some green position on it and some green coins. So it's good. It's fine if you trade that. You still have a nice position to long on TIA. TIA had a nice good run as well. And I guess it was Zabro, Fartcoin, and there was one more who had like a quite big push. I didn't check them yet, and even the new listing P coin 61% up, so pretty good. There it is. There you have your money flow in it so far. So if we're gonna see any kind of flip in it, then you might expect large caps catch up. So far doesn't look like. Let's see how the day gonna close and how we gonna do the rest of the run. Next flow index is my ecosystem, but I set it up for myself, and I always keep it on the daily, just because you're gonna have full information what's happened on the day. Right now, how you see it, most of the cash is out of the market, right? The rest is quite in red, especially Bitcoin had a big hit, Sol had a big hit, Ethereum not so much, but and meme coins. Atom ecosystem had quite a good run yesterday. It was big in green, especially with TIA and the rest of the coins. So, but even there, still most of the cash is out of the market. If you're gonna see any kind of flip like we had it over here, then you know what's happening and we pushing. So far, not happening right now. Okay, let's go to the charts and the levels what we used to have. Let me have a sip. Oh, Nice tea with rum, just to warm up after big snowy day. Don't mind all of the levels. I know it's a lot, but it makes sense. I guess I was away before this pump happened last week. I don't remember exactly when it was. I guess so. Friday, February, Tuesday, Monday. Yeah, I guess so. But even then, we had a quite nice run over here, and most of the people thought we're gonna go higher. Could be just because we close above the 4 hour level from this area, this swing, and we didn't close above the daily mid, but that's not a big deal. We had a higher high, but the thing is, and you only can see that with the Wave Master, this didn't give you any kind of sign that we will go higher because we've been quite overbought over here. So we had a dump over from it, and then the continuation, that kind of price action, and we poop it from the cliff, like Vikings like to say it. So there it is. The dead price action from here took us to 85.9. I really was hoping to go a little bit lower, but we didn't get that. It's still okay. From here, we didn't see any kind of aggressive move buyback from it. Yeah, we had the three nice big candles, but still, this isn't even aggressive enough to bring us to the higher side. When I was talking about liquidity, it was somewhere, I guess, somewhere over here. We didn't had the pushback from it. And right now, like you see, we still dumping from it. We might get any kind of range formation and then poop from the cliff again. Let's see how that goes. And so far, doesn't look strong enough. Why? Let's go to 1 hour because 4 hour doesn't have any kind of information yet for us, any good history to play from it. What I really want to see, yeah, you see here gain or loss level. That's just like my prediction. Like I really want to hold the price action above actually this level and create any kind of structure on it to see potential to go to the upside. And for me, what I really want to see on the higher time frame is close above the 89.45. Why? That was just your swing from 1 hour swing, and we didn't barely close above this. Yeah, barely. You can say barely, but still, okay. This is your main area to look for it. To go to the top side to gain anything. And right now, what we just do, we had 4 times run to the resistance, and we break from it. We close the 4 hour. Yeah, we did we close 4 hour? No, we didn't. 4 hour was close quite high, but the next one is quite important what we're gonna do. If we're gonna close below the 4 hour swing, then we continue for sure to the downside. Right now, we just back test the daily, and let's see how for long how we're gonna carry on to keep up with this range or what kind of structure we're gonna form from it. Actually, what I'm really looking for it, and I'm not sure if we're gonna play this out. I was thinking we're gonna receive something like this, something like let me close this, something like this price action. But eventually, we didn't receive the buyback that aggressive like we used to have it over here, just because the previous price action was exactly the same. So yeah, that's why I was hoping, but we still didn't get it. So that's why it gives me a perspective that we are not that strong to go higher or to gain anything. But that might change in a day or two. You never know. So far, it looks weak. Just because we didn't have the bounce, we didn't even regain 89. We still can do, but for now we didn't. We lost a daily straight, and from now it's not much to say about it. Just carry on, keep up with the range, play the range as well. Try to hedge it. You never know, if you go to the upside, you might have some any kind of longs set up, so you might take any scalps from here. I'm short from back in the days, and I'm always scalping away. So I'm short from this area here. I'm short. I didn't add to that one because I was away today. So yeah, let's see how that's gonna play. I really think we're gonna do one more and then just continue to the downside, grind it down. I'm really not confident to that we go even to 96. We might, but I'm not seeing it today. Just because 1 hour is still quite off board, and we did this kind of move, this movement from yesterday and 2 days ago, and it was like quite a big push from on the wave master, and right now we are just continue to the downside. So I don't see it. 4 hour here, it looks quite good, but still doesn't give you any kind of reaction to go higher. We still can go lower on that one. Depends how we play it today and how the day is gonna close, because that's actually what I'm interested in. I really, if we want to have any kind of upside movement, then the daily should be, yeah, then we need to close the daily above the 87 and then continue from it. But then still you have a lot of resistance. And that's not even taking this in calculation, the top side. I'm not even taking about that because we are far from it, just because we have one here. And I'm really considering and thinking that we're gonna have any kind of reaction on the yearly again. So this is what I'm looking for, re-enter any kind of shorts. Gaining yearly, you go to the December. Failing that, you go lower. And then eventually when we're gonna gain something, seriously, if you really want to see any kind of potential to go upside and even all-time high, what's not really happening for me in my books for now, you really want to close, yeah, let's say above this. So that's gonna be a close 98, 363. That's what you want for really take out the upside. But so far, it's not really in my books. The strength isn't there, and especially just because you have the long and short ratio of 70%, or even more. I don't remember. I didn't have a look in a couple hours, but so yeah, that gives you as well like quite a perspective what you need to gain. So the strength need to be to do anything to the top side, and since okay, let's say February of 3rd of February, look what you did. Like, choose this already gives you the perspective like how weak Bitcoin was. Then you have the big dump, right? I mean, big dump, it's not a big dump, but we had quite a significant pullback on that one to the downside, and we might even continue. So where is the strength? There isn't. There isn't any for now. And if you look on the daily, on the oscillator, look what we are doing right now. So there is not really like confidence to say like, yeah, we go and take out the upside. Not yet. I'm seriously in my if I will be market maker, I will do any kind of shenanigans over here just to trap a lot of longs or shorts, doesn't matter, and just like try to do any significant damage to the upside. Why? Just because there is shitloads of liquidity, first thing first, and the way how you might play this out, it, in my opinion, I would like to see something like that. First take out the upside and then the downside. Why? Just because the move up is going to be a little bit quicker and need to be less aggressive. Just there is gonna not gonna be much resistance anymore. If not, if you're gonna continue now to the downside, then believe me, it's not gonna be even that pretty to go up. Oh, just because you have a lot of resistance left behind. Just imagine that this whole section is resistance and you do something like this, right? Fuck around, and then you need to go to the upside. Again, you're gonna have a pullback, and then you might eventually get your all-time high once or twice or whatever. So yeah, I would like go first, take out the resistance, and then have a bigger pullback to the downside, and maybe not even to 72 or maybe to 80 or whatever, but to close the gap and then continue to the upside. But I don't think we're gonna get that just because we still didn't have any significant buyback from the dump what we had. So that's my kind of opinion. And what I'm looking right now for levels to hold, to gain, or to test, it's quite simple. So for now, I add some levels to the chart as well. This is, yeah, 4 hours still holds. So for now, it's still holding. I still have previous daily low of the swing, and that's the wick. That's the lowest what we go. Losing this literally doesn't get anything in between because there is only the CME gap, and that's all what you have. Then you just go to 73, 75. That's the first level when we're gonna have any kind of stop maybe or any kind of reaction from it. That means you might see something like this happening, and then or continue or go higher. Why? Just because we went that low to the 70 doesn't mean we broke anything. We still that daily higher swing, higher range, that's from over here level. That's quite important in my book actually, because that's the highest low before we went to the 109K. That we're gonna test, see if we're gonna hold it. If not, there is still, even in my book, this 59. I don't think we're gonna go that low, but who knows? Yeah, I'm not gonna go lower because I don't think we're gonna go there. So for now, 73, 75. That's why I wanna see first be hit, and then we still have a lot of old levels, monthly levels, also resistant support as well to bounce from it. But I think we will do something like that. Or even what you might see as well is gonna be really aggressive. It's gonna be a wick, come back to the level, and then continue. That might be as well. Quick, dirty wick, like everybody likes it. So that's kind of my opinion how we might play this out. I'm a little bit rusty right now. It's been a week I stream, so I'm not used to it. But yeah, this is quite the level what I want to see. Close above on the daily. So that's gonna be the 87, 326. So that's the level that you will really want to hold. If not, then I mean there is nothing else to edit because there is CME gap from I guess 80. I don't remember 80 to 73, something like that. I don't remember. I will need to check. But so yeah, that's your next level. But how this is looking right now, it's S and it still continue in my book. There is nothing else which says it doesn't. It bounced back or something. Yeah, we had a small on the New York Open bounce from it, but that's all. For now, continuation. There is nothing else to say about it. I'm sorry. I really wish, and I was thinking to say some positive about it, the whole market or structure or anything, but there isn't. Just one second, I'm gonna pick up on the chat. One second, I just want to finish my yapping around of the market. So yeah, I really was looking for some positivity on it, but still, it's continuation. If we're gonna really close on the 4 hour higher and gain anything, even like okay, let's say on 4 hour you gain 88, 650, then yeah, you might have some formation of the range and might pop up to the upside. On 1 hour, still the same. It's gonna be the same level. Yeah. And a lower time frame, if you're scalping away, just to try to gain the ATH-171, that swing, what brought you over here, and see if we're gonna continue from it. So far, doesn't look like it wants to. So there is still, you see, there's still room for the downside. Yeah, that's what keeps me quite, yeah. I don't want to say bearish and bullish because that's the thing where I'm not really like going for always. I'm just shorting the market when it's give me the opportunity to short, and I'm longing when I can long. So far, I tried to long and it wrecked me twice or three times even. So I'm not gonna even bother to do it to long it now till I'm gonna really see any kind of significant holding of structures or changing of structures. And by that I mean seriously like okay, imagine we're gonna stay here and we're gonna continue. What I really want to see is something like this, even what can play out, right? Hold the daily and continue from it. And then if you're gonna have like a wipe of the late longs, right? So we're gonna wreck the 150 axis, and I'm gonna enter over here on my long for the continuation. So far, it doesn't look like, and I'm only gonna look for longs when we're gonna break any kind of structure to the upside. Only. I'm not gonna even scalp shorts or longs because that's, like I said, it wrecked me already like a couple times, and I don't like that. It doesn't feel right too long right now, right? When I'm gonna be a little bit lower over here, yeah, of course. I mean, that's of course I don't want to say blindly long it, but you really want to look for any kind of longs because you will have big and aggressive action from it, from those levels over here for sure. So yeah, then of course, but right now there is still movement to the downside, and if I'm not gonna see any kind of even gaining of the levels, monthly, weekly, daily, or whatever, or gaining a previous structure on the higher time frame, there is no chance I'm gonna long it for now. And I'm think I'm gonna stay for a couple weeks like that. So yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Why? It doesn't make sense right now. I had a long. It's been already out of the position. I've been in long from already. Yeah, that's already big time out of the position. I used to be over here somewhere in a long, but still, I'm not gonna do that for now. So far, downside it is. If you're gonna see any gains, then be my guest and prove me wrong. But for now, there isn't any chance to come back from it. And especially, I was looking at this kind of price action. I know it's different, but the movement what we used to have over here, it was quite aggressive like this as well. The buyback wasn't that strong, but you had one more wick to the downside, right? So you had that wick downside, and that buyback brought you to the all-time high. So we still could get that. Don't get me wrong, we still can get that, maybe a little bit lower, but this week it could be to the 72 or 73, right? And that buyback can get you right quite high or to 95, 96 or in 104 to see any kind of action on the resistance and then continue from it. So yeah, this could still play out over here. For now, like I said, it doesn't look like we still continue. How does the 1 hour look like? Like we bearish backtest the daily again, and there you go. We broke the structure again, and we might continue from here. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for it. Keep the levels tight, keep them on always on, and make sure you respect them as well. Because if you don't do them, then you might do some stupid things, and it's not necessary. Because like I mean, how long we talking about it already? It's been a month. Literally, oh yeah, fuck, it's been a month because Friday it's gonna be a monthly close. So literally a month of shorting this price action, guys. Literally. And I tried once or twice to long it. And yeah, after a take profit, it wrecked me, but still, it wasn't that profitable to do it, so I'm not gonna do it. Still, I'm gonna see any kind of gainage. So far, like this price action was ass. Yeah, we're gonna have it even more ass price action right now. Prepare yourself. And I hope I'm gonna be wrong that we literally gonna gain this daily and then go hit the yearly and take some resistance and make a higher low from it. I really hope, but it doesn't look like now. Let's see how the next 4 hour close gonna be. That's quite interesting because we had a significant buyback. Wasn't that strong, but it was a quite big one. And I didn't look at the order books and trading light yet, so I don't know how the orders looks like on the downside. But I guess we have still the wall underneath us. But I will update you later on that one. And yeah, so far keep keep an eye on 1 hour. Yeah, that's gonna be quicker. Yeah, keep an eye on 1 hour, and then of course the 4 hour later on, and make sure you're gonna look at the daily close today. How that gonna close? If you're gonna close over here somewhere, then for example, like we have a close over here on the daily, then make sure we will do something like that range, or we will dump from it. Let's see. So far, it's weak, like it always is, and there's no necessary to repeat ourselves. Just short it. Don't try to catch any knives because really you're gonna wreck yourself only, and it's not the point of it. If you're not gonna have any confluence or any kind of higher time frame, sorry, I had the text, higher time frame information or kind of confluence from, yeah, that we gain anything or we go higher or anything. But there's no point to catch any knives. Please don't do it. Don't do it. I saw already like over here even two guys when they are with me, and there was like fucking 100x this move long. So yeah, you can imagine how that went. And I told them don't do it, but they wanted to prove me wrong, and they did 100x long it. So there you go. Even people over here doing that. But like I said, just play the levels. Keep in mind, don't go over leverage as well because it's not necessary. Because you can have like a wicks to grab any kind of liquidity. Uh, oh, we just got it. Oh, yeah, we got that one. So yeah, still one left. I think we're gonna leave that one. And then on the daily open, we're gonna create another one, and I'm guessing it's gonna be something like that over here and to the downside, and we're gonna play in between them like we always did from here. So yeah, that's kind of my prediction and kind of my idea of the market. It's a little bit rusty today. I need to get used to it after a week of skiing and drinking, but it's okay. I have fun over here. I have a quite nice spot next to the campfire of campfire. How you call it? Inside house? Yeah, whatever. So yeah, that's I guess all. And the monthly close, yeah, I mean that's not a big. I don't need to say nothing about it. That's either way, that's gonna be wrecked because I don't think, definitely not, we will move. Yeah, almost 12% to the upside to close above 96, 475. I don't think so. I don't see it happening. So that close, it's gonna be a shit close, and the next one gonna be for the to the continuation. So yeah, even like Stu was saying, it still goes down. Even the weekly, we are middling, so we still. Oh, we have a new, yeah. There you go. So yeah, the next one's gonna be even worse, I guess. So yeah, let me pick up on the chat. I read all of this. Welcome back, Adrian. Welcome. Thanks. I miss you guys. Ah, great. I'm still on my holiday, so I don't think I'm gonna come back soon. I cancel my flight back, and I'm staying for a while here. I found a pretty looking reason to stay longer. No one knows about it, so only you guys. So yeah. Generally good fan. I have fans. Oh my gosh, I have fans. That doesn't sound good, man. If I have fans, I'm gonna open OnlyFans then. Edward the Scissorhand. Yep, that's how it is. Uh, Catch a knife, you say? Jump on it and shove it deeper. I need to find my next jumping point. Yeah, there you go. Oh, jump. When you went on holidays to London, huh? Yeah. Oh my God, please don't remember me. I hope that's not gonna happen over here because that's gonna be horrible to my life and to everybody who I know in Holland. They're gonna kill me when I'm gonna stay here. But yeah, I told my mom like she called me and she asked me how was holiday. I was like, yeah, I canceled my flight, and she was like, no, you didn't. You're not gonna do it again. I said, no, not yet. I'm just staying for longer, not 8 years. Yeah, there you go. See, 72% long still. So there is no point even to long it because, boy, you're gonna get wrecked. Kermit, Kermit jumping off the cliff of the building. Yep. Yeah, look, that Kermit. Oh, dude, that Kermit was jumping off the building. That's me rolling down the fucking cliff when I was drunk last couple days ago. Shit. So you need to imagine, like, there is no okay, we are like offside, like in the village kind of way. So there is no like lights on the streets. And I was a little bit on the drunk side, and not really slip, but I went deeper on the sidewalk where it's like shit also snow, and I like slipped from that, from the cliff, kind of age, and I rolled down from yeah, quite high area, but all good. I didn't broke anything, but still good. I have some scratches on my back from the London episode. Yeah, she has trauma. Yeah, I know. She get used to it with me. I'm unpredictable. Yeah, they don't have the rescue dogs over here. My mates were like upstairs, and they walked through that cliffside where I was rolling from. They didn't see me because it was fucking dark, and they walk. And they just realized like 15 minutes later, like, shit, where's Adrian? I was like trying to get up and go through the fucking snow and bushes and everything. And then, yeah, half hour ago, I was like, hey, dude, I'm still here. But yeah, a little bit under the snow. It was fun. Definitely fun. It still is. Shorting the mountains. And then before you skiing down the mountain, you put a short on it, on any kind of coin, and you go down, take the profit, go up, do it again. And that's the whole day what I was doing actually like a couple days ago with my mates. We were shorting the market and the mountains at the same time. So yeah, quite fun. Quite fun experience. But boy, the drinking game over here, it's next level, man. Fuck. So yeah, like I said, continuation to the downside. It's still on the table and we still continue. There is no point to do anything else than short the market, play the levels, mark them for yourself, guys. That's really important. Like what I'm doing over here, and this is nothing because that's like only the little bit main levels for information and reference, but I have as well like most of them and shitloads more on the different kind of charts. Still, they're important. Like over here, like we said, like you just look to the on your history how important this level is. We gained it, but we still was so overboard that we just dumped from it. And how did we do it? You know, like I can stretch it enough, like how important they are, and that's why I play the swings always. Why? Because they matter. They matter for the testing of the market, for the price action of it, and for the structure. You need that, and that's why you play it. And here as well, like I mean, it's obvious on 1 hour. Let's go to 1 hour. It was so obvious as well. Like, okay, this was the highest point we went on 1 hour. We dropped from it, and we came 4 times to that level, close enough, and we still down from it, right? So this is your resistance. Like, there is nothing else to say about it. If you not gain this, then there is only downside. There is nothing else to say about it. Gain this, and you have a continuation to the upside. Then you might have any kind of reaction from this level, right? But so far, play the levels. Make sure you take the time and you mark them on your chart and see clearly how everything behaves and in which kind of area it behaves, what kind of structure it forms. Yes, you sometimes have like higher closes from the previous structure. That's correct. You have them. But even then, you're still failing because you didn't gain or you didn't even close above the resistance. You closed just over previous structure. That's something different. And you look how that plays out. So that's the thing. Like, it's really important, guys. And make sure you check the closes on every kind of time frame, on the high time frame. Don't I'm not talking about lower time because that's quite different. That's a little bit too quick. What happens? But one from 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily are really most important one. If you see any kind of significant closes on the daily, right? If you see even this you saw happening, and we close below that previous high what you created. Let me zoom in a little bit because let's get a little bit flooded. So we had this move, right? And then we closed over here above, we went a little bit higher, and we came all back to it, and we closed previous that move. Then that quite obvious was your last chance to short it because look what happened afterwards. And it happened all of the times, right? Every single time we came higher, we went down. We went higher, we went down. It's always happening. That's your resistance. And yeah, you can go even higher on that one. We could even go over here and close below. But that's significant, shows you how is the strength to the downside and which area is playing out. How does this read makes you think? Okay, so wait. So I the screenshot what you sent me. I guess looking at it is 4 hour, right? Or one. Let me have a look on mine, compare it. Oh, that's 4 hour. Yeah, look bad, but the wave mask looks good. How does that read? Yeah, so the thing is, like, I get your confusion about it as well, and that's why oh, Jesus Christ, the training view is so slow today. Just give me a second, that's gonna load it, because this is quite ass. Oh my God, this all of you guys training view have loading issue today, or is it just mine? Just because I am high in the mountains. Oh my God. Uh, why does it do it? This is really, oh, okay, finally, for fuck's sake. Okay, so the thing is, I get the confusion. I understand that you guys think that we should go higher just because of this reading, right? And what I'm trying to teach you as well and to inform you about it, indicators are only information what might happen and in which state is the chart right now or price action. They're always going to be a little bit lagging behind, always, because the price action comes first. The price will first be the first one to add to the charts, and then the indicators will follow on that one when the price closes or opens. Yes, we are bottoming on the oscillator, and that's going to be on all of the oscillators. Why? Just because we had the aggressive move from the up and down, from the upside to the downside. We are creating a new structure on the whole chart. We had the higher high, now we have a lower low from the whole previous structure. Everything what happened over here, it doesn't matter anymore to the downside. Why? Because we all took it out. Everything what here we did here in since November, I guess, till February, it doesn't matter anymore to the downside. Why? We took it out. We are bottoming on the oscillator. Yes, we are. Still, that doesn't give you any kind of direction that we go up. Why? Because we need to gain anything to play this out. We still can continue. This can still continue to the downside and rolling on the bottom of it till we're gonna have any considerable gain of it. Why? Because still the higher frequency, how you call this? High, what was it? High HDF. Fuck, I don't remember how you call high. Okay, doesn't matter. HFT still can go lower. Yeah, we have a small one that comes and pops to the upside, but we still can go lower on that one. That doesn't give you any kind of direction yet. I know that it shows you that we are on the bottom. Yes, on the bottom of the oscillator, and that means every single kind of oscillator who been added to the wave master gives you right now the reading that we kind of bottom just because we had this move to the downside. And that's always going to be because it was a major move, right? Don't get me wrong, this was kind of a big move, 13.5% on the Bitcoin, but we still can go down. We still can go lower on that one. Then you just look on the daily, you go higher on that one. Oh my God, it's gonna take some ages, right? If it's gonna load that slow. Look at the daily. We've been on the bottom over here on the oscillator, right? And look what happened after the big move. We still can continue, and we still have room to continue to that one. So the thing is, I'm going to show you something right now with those time frames, right? You need to split them for yourself. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it clear, but I'm gonna write it right underneath the time frames over here. The 1 minute to 1 hour, right? That's one time frame. That's a lower time frame. Then you have the 1 hour to 4 hour and daily. That's let's say mid time frame. And then you have the high time frame. That's the weekly and the monthly. Let's say like that, right? If it's made clear. So the lower time frame gives you idea that we are let's say, how can I say it? Okay, the lower time frame gives you idea that we are of ball, right? So we are like quite high on the oscillator. Then you have the middle time frame, so 1 hour, 4 hour, 3, 4, or whatever in between the daily. That one gives you that we are bottom already. But the higher time frame, we are oversold as well. So you need to imagine that this time frame push this time frame, and this time frame push this time frame, and then vice versa. It's a cycle. It's like a clock, right? Everything moves in a direction like a clockwise. So everything what's happened over here will soon happening over here, and everything what's going to happen over here will soon happen over here in that time frame as well. You need to look a little bit like that as well. So yes, 1 and 4 hour on my chart, because I am on I have only 1 and 4 hour, are quite bottom. But that can change even if the price moves. Like for example, we're gonna go to the downside and we're gonna grind. This grind to the upside can change the oscillator quite quick to the upside. So this can go very quick, right? And then you have the divergence. That's how it forms as well. But then the higher time frame, so the weekly and the monthly, go from overbought to oversold. And then, and only then, when you see the most higher time frame change in the direction, you have a biggest push to the upside and to the highest all-time highs, right? So you need to imagine that this price action push this price action and then push this price action, and then it go over and over again. That's why we have the daily close, weekly close, monthly close, because that's important because of these time frames. All of it, what happens over here, it moves from the lower time frame to mid time frame and the high time frame eventually. And yeah, the weekly and the monthly takes longer, but then the lower time frame takes quicker. But that's where you're scalping it, and you scalp turns out into the swing, that's a mid, and then the swing turns out in the long trade, right? That's how I see it. And that's why your 4 hour oscillator is bottoming, just because all of the price action from the lower time frame been pushing all of it through the shorts to the downside. And yeah, it's reached to the downside because eventually your oscillator is gonna be this big, and if that's gonna be the this big, then eventually this should be somewhere over here in the middle, and then we have the room to go down to 70. You don't know that, or I mean the oscillator doesn't know that when we go to the if we go lower or not, just because he's following the price action over here. Over here we are bottoming, but we still can go lower. Why? Because the thin line over here still have room to go down to the more to the downside, and even the thick one, the trend line, can go with it. And same over here. That's how you can read it. Like the thin line is your price, is your volume, not price volume. Yeah, price volume, I guess it was. I don't remember it. That went quite thick to the upside, and the movement of the price wasn't that big, right? But the money flow in the market was quite significant. But then it dumped, and when it dumped, it does quite significant move, right? And your HFT indicator didn't had a bigger moves as well. So there you go. That's the sol out, and even this quite-ish looks for me like it was a fake out move. What we did, just to trap all of the longs and then wreck them. And what did we do? Exact this. Oh, we're gonna continue. So yeah, I'm gonna think about it. How can I explain this much more clearer? How to read this and those kind of moves. Like this plays, of course, out because yeah, we turn around, but this doesn't, right? And we still continue. Why? Because we didn't gain anything. If we're gonna start doing something like this right now, we close here and the next one's gonna be here, then you will see something like this happening, and then you will say like, yeah, fuck it, we go. But not now. Why? Because the price action is still to the downside. So is the oscillator as well. And that's how I'm reading. Same like I guess Stu reads the RSI as well. So this is your weakness and this is your strength, right? But it doesn't mean it still can turn around and this strength will bring you over here. There still need to be more to that than only pretty colors and everything. So that's why I want to learn you guys and want to let you trade. It's still an indicator. That means it indicates your way of trading and which way it's trading, right? I want to learn you guys to see and read the charts and the levels what the charts gives you. The indicators is only confirmation. an indication like it might happen, or just give you a sign like, all right, you are right, or might rethink your movement or your placement of some trades. So far, like I said, this is the main goal to understand and to trade from. Swings. Swings, closes, daily opens, or monthly opens, whatever, but the swings are really important. And the structure. The structure, I mean, even without the levels, you still can read the structure, right? Are you gonna long this right now? No. Gain this shitty price action, go above it, close above it, and then I might see any kind of continuation to long it. But right now, why I should long this? I should be shorting this over here when we're losing the daily, right? This, even this kind of ish area was to shorting it twice. You had it twice. Okay, you had 3 times the chance to short this area when it give it to you. That's why it's the opens are important as well. Really important. And don't get me wrong, really important. And look at this. Like I remember, I guess before I went away, I said that this cluster of levels it's quite significant. Why? Because it forms like a wall as well for you. And look what we did. We didn't even fight it. We just touched it and we went down from it, right? So it's really important to understand it and just to get a hang of those levels, especially of the structures. That matters, really matters, because without the structure, there's no price action. So yeah, and for me, and that's why I want to uh, create or learn you guys as well. Like sports is one thing. Don't get me wrong, sports are awesome. Yes, it's an investment, but that shouldn't be the main issue from not to trade the charts the opposite way from it, right? If you're in a sport, fine, be in a sport. Forget that about that one. Take the fucking trades, shorts and long. Even shorts are perfect because you're covering your sports, right? So you hedge it actually. But even then, you shouldn't be worried about the whole market structure. Why? Because even, okay, forgot the alts and fucking memes or whatever. Look what we did. So over here, people was worrying as well about fucking sports or whatever. And we still came back to it or even higher, right? Then you had the bear market. Oh, wait. Then you had your bear market. And look what we did. And it's same gonna happen over here. Even forget that we go higher or whatever or not. So some if something like this happens, right? Okay, maybe not that low, but still, we will come back. Why? Because we always did, and we always will do. That's the whole cycle section, and that's the whole section life of the crypto, especially of the Bitcoin. We always will do. We always will come back to it. Let me get rid of it. So don't worry that we go over here. For me, that's just cheaper price action for sports or whatever. If you still want to add to your bags or buy anything, that's how I'm seeing it. And you still will have the push up because over here, well, if we're gonna dump over here, you will have any kind of significant move from it. So there is gonna be a lot of opportunity to long it, the whole market. And then, yeah, let's see how high we go. If not, I don't care. I will short the market. Even to be honest with you guys, deep dive into it, what's more profitable, shorting or longing? So, to give you quite a perspective, shorting is quite profitable than longing because we all know how deep we will go. We all will know, and that's the deepest what we go. And believe me, you will. I think. Okay, I'm not sure, but in my perspective, the 15K of Bitcoin we will never see. Maybe, okay, maybe we will get it in a kind of quick wick in the next bear market and then come back from it. But lower than the 50K, we will not see Bitcoin. So there you go. This is the area to short it. That's what we know. And how high do we go? You fucking don't know. Why? Because we didn't never been there. We don't know. That's just assumptions. Like we might go to 200, we might go to 300 now or 200. Dude, we didn't handle even 110K. We struggling with that shit. So what doesn't give you now the perspective to go to 120K, right? Mandy, don't get me wrong, and we're not gonna wick it now to it, but if we're gonna be in a bear market. But so far, even to be honest with you guys, don't get me wrong, but 54, we could even go now to 54, and we still gonna be in a bull market. Why? Just because we didn't break any structure to the upside. We didn't break it anything. We still continue in the same structure to the upside. We lose 54, we go lower than that, then we start breaking on the higher time frame. Then we might do something like this, fail this, and we have the bear market all over again, right? So this 33% room to move, it's nothing. It's still good. It's still positive. Even if people panicking in any kind of ways or any kind of significant websites, people panicking about it, it's still healthy. Losing this level, that means we go to the bear market straight with a failure, and, of course, of a higher low, of a lower high, I mean, but still, we still have shittles of room to move. And I don't say we go to 54, but still, there is a room to move from it, and there is potential to buy because eventually, if you buy anything from here on the spot, man, you still can run it up like, okay, let's say we go to 120, 140%, right? So there is nothing to panic about it. There wasn't anything to panic about it. It's just this is the high and this is the low, and what we're gonna do: low, high. What's this, right? It's just the structure of the market. We all did it. Same here. It's your low, or even this was your low. This your high. Okay, we quite came quite close to it, but still, it's a high low. And where did we go? There's nothing to worry about it. Yeah, we're gonna see some red numbers, but even in the downside of the market, you can make shitloads of money. I, to be honest with you, I make more money shorting it than longing it because shorts pays more off. So that's why. That's why I want to give you a realization that this, even what we did over here, look the comparison between those two ranges. This is nothing comparing what we did over here, and we all forget how people was panicking over here, right? We all forget about it, and we all will forget about this when we're gonna be somewhere over here or somewhere over here. We all will forget about this. Why? Because that's what happened with people, and market makers knows about it exactly. That we forget about those movements, and we even forget how this felt, right? If people we've been over here and we dumped from here and we came back, we all forget about it, but it did happen, and it will always happen because that's the structure of the market and how it continues. Yeah, we change it a little bit right now, but still, it's quite similar. It's bigger actually right now than we used to have it over here. So that's the thing. Like there is no panic. Like maybe I mean I lost a lot of people from here as well, but from here even more around me in the market, just because they didn't agree with me and just they thought that I was a little bit on the negative side. But I'm not negative. I'm just saying to you guys that this is all normal. If we go up, we still need to go down. We need to test things before we continue. And we need to break some things. And we broke those structure and we go to the downside. We're going to test the previous structure. That's all. And we still in the uptrend. Why? Because we didn't lose any kind of significant structure to the upside. To the downside, I mean, sorry. So this is your room to run. And we might even go to 73 or maybe even 76 because I really don't remember the CME gap, but somewhere over here. We close that and we continue to the upside. And then eventually, guys, don't get me wrong, I don't want to be ass in it, but if we're going to do something like this and we're going to be here, we all will forget about this. We all going to be all happy and doomy and yeah, all we're doing all-time high. And what's going to happen over there? We're going to have something like this, maybe. And then we might have, right? Something like that. I don't know. I'm just playing. I'm just thinking that this might happen. But still, we all will forget about this. And we're all gonna be happy. And then we're gonna start dumping and then people start panicking. It's all about the market. It's always gonna happen. Everything what's going up, it need to go down. It's quite like a physics, I guess, right? Throw a ball in the air. It will come back, right? And if you want to kick it to the in the air, you still need to have like big force to do it, right? It's same in the market. Let me take a sip because I was yapping around a little bit too long, I guess. So let's go back. I hope I, first and first, I hope I answer your question of the indicator side. I will think about the bigger of better explanation how to explain this, but I hope it makes some sense. Just don't go blindly on the indicator, right? It what I just want to say, like it gives you information what happened and what might happen. But for now, like you see, the price action is the most important one. If you see any kind of holding of the levels, like for example, Viking was saying in his stream, right? So over here, this buyback was significant, right? If we would hold this over here like this, then yes, that that full hour will make a lot of sense to go along on it. But then go to 1 hour and see how 1 hour behaves. Look where we've been on 1 hour over here and compare that to 4 hour. You need to always compare your trade of your time frames with each other, if it makes sense. Because 1 hour it gives you more to the downside. So that means that the lower time frames go as well with it before the 4 hour is gonna change. So it needs four 4 hour of four times 1 hour candle to change the 4 hour candle, if that makes sense. So that's why I need to calculate as well. And for the daily as well, like how many 4 hour fits in a daily, how many 1 hour fits in a day. And that makes your, okay, so it means I need 24 1 hour candles to see any significant change in a daily candle. And that's how you read the time frames as well. It don't go by one time frame only. You need to know what's before that time frame happening and after that time frame happening, because then you will have some kind of significant, okay, like if we're gonna do this, what's gonna happen over here and what happens over here, right? So you need to have your direction set in both areas. Even if you are scalping, you need to know what's the high time frame doing. If you are longing or if you are swing trading, you still have both time frames in front or in back of you. You need to know what's happening, and that's how you read those time frames as well. So for now, 1 hour is the king because that's one still need to bottom or like set to the bottom to have any kind of direction change. And 4 hour will still continue bottoming like we did here on 1 hour, right? That will continue. and then the daily is going to change, and then the weekly and the monthly is going to change, but the weekly and monthly are quite oversold, so they are going from the top to the bottom. So for that to change, for those time frames to change, we need to have shitloads of time frames to go through in the daily and the weekly and the 4 hour and the 1 hour, and that means another month, another week. So yeah, that's how I read it. Okay, let's get on the chat. Just got a little doctor time here. Week into the 50. Oof, I don't know if it was a table, but I will take it. Yeah, prepare you bear bingo. But yeah, we could wick to the 15K still and still be fine on the bear market. But yeah, but that's not now. Don't get me wrong, guys. I'm talking about in a couple of years. During the see 45K. Yeah, Carl, you joined on a perfect moment. Newbie question here. There are no newbie questions, mate. What's the daily science between daily, weekly, yearly, open? Why the support or resistance is created in those area? Oh, Ervin? I guess it was Ervin, right? So you mean the opens? It's There are the most significant levels. Those levels gives you the perspective how the chart and price action behaves on that open. Like set them, switch them on the AI charting tool, and go back to the area when they've been open. So look at that yearly open, right? It opened over here, right? And what did we do from it? We did 10% straight without even backtesting it. And then we came down to it, right? And we still did it again, but the first open matters. And then, of course, we hold the level because we didn't close below it. So that means that that level is a strong level. And always, yearly open is always one of the strongest level because that counts for the whole year, right? So this is your support. Sorry, this was your support, and we broke it and we closed below it. Then you have the monthly. Monthly are strong, not that strong as a yearly, but still strong as levels. For example, February. I've It's rarely I saw that kind of strong level as February open. We closed it bearish actually. We opened February bearish, and what we did is we dumped from it, right? We dumped from it. We came back. This was your bearish backtest of it. So on below that level, we backtested and we failed it. And look what we did. And that's really incredible what we did from the February right now. Because if you're gonna count this, the beginning of this structure, then we are already 16.6% down from the February only, from one only backtest from it, and that's over here. If you missed it, then you missed this whole move, right, as a swing. But then of course you can still add it through from this area. But look how badass strong this level is, and that's why we as Smalio, Viking, and the rest of the people include those levels as one of the strongest and one of the most important levels to charge from it and take trades from it. Why? Because they give you always a reaction from it. It's the monthly open. It's always going to be, because remember, monthly open it's 12 times in a year. That means and there's a lot of people who set big ass orders on that moment, on the day, on the weekly, on the monthly, on the year. And that's what brings you the most significant pushes and aggressive points from downside or upside. Doesn't matter how you see it or where the price goes, but it always gives you a reaction from it, and that reaction is always massive. Always, it's really important. Those levels are the main key. This is you should be bread and butter. Why? Because it always gives you a perspective how the market behaves. Because right now, from the yearly open, this is the first time we close below it. So that means that this level, it's already it's not support anymore, but it's a resistance, become a resistance to it. And right now, when we're gonna go from it, you're gonna see something like that because that's your resistance. We closed below, we lost that support, we lost this support, and the only biggest resistance, well, what left is February still. So there it is. Those are the levels. And even then, switch them on and go back to the previous structure what we created last year and look how those levels played out. And Q2 as well, the quarters are important as well. Look how strong and how badass they are. They hold this level actually by its own. This level holds this whole structure. So show me something else stronger than that. So yeah, they are really, really, really important and really strong. Don't get me wrong, and never go against them because they will make you only big money. Okay, make sure weekly resistance is created in those areas. Makes sense to me. Cool. I hope it makes sense. No worries. So yeah, make sure just switch them on. It doesn't cost you anything. Just switch the AI charting tool and go in the past. The history is the key, guys. You need to remember that the history in the chart is the most important thing to trade from because that gives you the most accurate areas of interest, where the price might go and where we've been and how it behaves. There isn't any kind of indicator more important than the history of your chart. That's why if you look for any kind of new coins or alts, you always look um, for the chart with most history. Why? Most of you will say just because the indicators needs a lot of data. That's true. How much more data you have, how better and how accurate the indicator is gonna be, or oscillators. That's true. But for your own way to know how to deal with the structure and how the chart behaves and where are the most important levels, that's why you need the most history from it, and that's the most important. Because if you know those, if you can chart those and you can see them, then you know where the price will go, where the magnet is, where the liquidations are, when liquidity is, where the money is, where is the bigger move coming from, and why it's behaving like that, and how it did in previous market behave. That's the most important thing to know from the history of the market. So that's why I always will refer to the history and go back test it for yourself. Switch on the indicators and go back into the market in the history and see how it behaves. And right now the levels are still here, and you can see how they behaved and what they did and how they did. And that gives you already an idea like, okay, how strong they are or weak. It depends how you look at it, right? Same here. It, if I will show you this chart, it's clear, right? We lost this, we lost this, and we lost this. Where do we go? Here, one-on-one charting. Loss and gain something. You don't need anything else. You don't need the indicators. I mean, of course, sorry, you need the AI charting tool for the levels, but you don't need any kind of different indicators from that one. And still, this is like already a month that I'm streaming, and I didn't even switch the Algo Master on it yet to deep dive into it more. Because to be honest, this is all what you need. The swings area, so the levels of 4 hour, 1 hour, maybe a daily. So this and your daily levels, weekly levels, and that's all what you go by. There's nothing else to do about it, and don't make it overcomplicated. Why would you? Why would you make it overcomplicated and stress your own self out? Right? You want to be profitable, easy, clear, and without stress, right? Because we already have, I guess, enough stress in our real lives and everything what's happening around us in a real life. Why would you make more stressful in on your charting as well, right? Time frame levels? What do you mean time frame levels in indicator? You mean the daily open? Daily, weekly, and monthly open firewoods? See you, Sam. See you later. Thanks for visiting. Gonna run. Gonna short now and sleep. Oh boy. Amen, Adrian. Don't pray to me, but thanks, Crypto. No, they are not plotted in the indicator. It's not possible to do that. I mean, maybe we need to think about it. You need to do it by yourself. So I have it on the object tree. I switch them on and on. You need to learn to plot them by yourself. And Firewoods, if you will follow my streams, I told about it in the first, I guess in the first one already. Do you see a bounce at 80K? 80K bounce. So you talking about this area, right? Over here, I guess. Yes. Okay, let me switch to, because I really forgot where is the CME gap. Let me just, oh my god, this trading view is killing me. Yeah, okay, there you go. 80K. I don't think we're gonna have any bounce from it just because from 80K to 78K you have the CME gap, and the CME gap are most likely and highly to fill. If you will see any kind of bounce, if we go lower, right, because right now there is nothing holding us, there's fair value gap, this is even fair value gap, so this means we will go lower, it's going to be straight to the CME gap, you will fill it. If we're going to fill it up, then it means that we're going to go to 77. You might see any kind of reaction from that. If not, then the first next reaction is from the, let's say from the wick 74.5. Let's keep it 74.5 to be clear. That might be your first reaction from it. But I mean, looking at this right now, and yes, we created a CME gap as well this week. Looking at this right now, we might fill it up. So I don't see any reason to bounce from the top of the CME gap and not to fill it up and not to close it. So that's why I'm always referring to CME, this CME gap, because that one is significant. I'm never gonna. Okay, let's tell you something else. Over here, for example, in this range and in this range, I don't give a shit about the CME gaps. Why? Because they will always be hit in most likely day or like 2 days, because it's a range. CME gaps in between the moves or the ranges, so for example, this one is quite significant one, right? Because that move brought us over here, and we still didn't even, not even the fair value gap over here, but the CME gap as well. We didn't close it, so we left a lot of things behind to do. That's why we're coming back actually right now to it. We might go, I don't know, I hope, because looking at the price action right now, it looks like we go to it. We will see something like that, might be, right? And even if not, then lower. But for now, this is what I'm looking for. I hope that makes sense. I was just asking because I have more than I think sometimes. Okay, fireworks. No, they don't mark the 4 hour and 1 hour. And um, to be honest, I was thinking about it to put it into the indicator to talk with the guys, but eventually I don't want to do that. And don't get me wrong, I don't want you guys to get too lazy and too comfortable. And there is a reason why. Um, it's not that hard to plot them, first thing first. If you understand them and you know, if you watch my first stream, you will get them. It's not that hard to plot them. But when you're gonna have this as well in the indicator, I'm I'm really like aware that some people might forgot how they work and why they are here. And eventually what's happened, and that's happening over here as well with those levels, people ignore this. because they don't realize how good, powerful, and aggressive they can be, those levels. So imagine like we're gonna have this in an indicator. If people gonna start to ignore this, then I'm afraid that they're gonna get lazy and they're not gonna get pay attention to it if you're not gonna plot them by yourself, because then you don't know the meaning behind them and why they are there. Because for me, this is fine and everything else what we get. But for me, if I plot any kind of level, let's say this is just an example, this level is for me important. But why is this level important? I want to know for myself, why is this level important? Why? Because this was the daily, okay, I know it's 4 hours, but this is the daily highest close before we went to the downside. So we still need to come back to that level to have any kind of retest or gain of that level for the continuation. That's why I want you guys to plot those levels by yourself as well, just to know why you're doing that. And we made it already quite easy for you guys with the oscillator and the daily levels and everything else with the even super fibs, right? When you have it on the Algo Master. And the thing is as well, what Stu says in his streams, you need to know exactly how to plot them. Because like Algo Master, when you use the StuberFib in the Algo Master of in different kind of indicator, they are not always perfect, because indicators is just a calculation. It's mathematical calculation of the price action, the volume, and everything else around. They don't see the structure. They don't know. I mean, they know where the price close and where the candle close, but still, that's just graphical on the charts, and that difference as well on the charts and as well on the exchange. So you really need to be precise with those levels. And I guess Smern can agree with me as well, because I am just looking at the chat and he is over there with his pivot points, that you need to be really precise with them as well. So those things you need to know why you plot them, why you set those levels over there, and how important they are. That's what makes you as well a good trader with it, and that's how makes you confident in those levels and knowing what kind of reaction they will form later on when the price action will come close to it. So that's why I don't want this to be plotted into any kind of indicator actually. I mean, I'm gonna talk with the guys about it, but I'm not sure we're gonna do it, because some things might get plotted differently as well on when they're gonna be like automated. So they may give you different kind of results and different kind of information. That's why we do them manually. Smile and me actually, because I never saw somebody else using them in the charts yet. But still, I really want to know exactly why I'm doing plotting those levels and why I'm putting them. So that's why I don't think indicators will do the great job to do the. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they will be in the future. I hope it will be much easier, but then we will become much lazier. I don't think that's the worst part of it, but it's something to consider, maybe to think about it. And if you have already so many things automated and plot by yourself or by the indicators, then I don't think those levels are that hard to plot and to find them. It's something that keeps you intact and in check as well, right? By charting something by manually, and it's not that big. I mean, you don't need to go that crazy like I'm doing with 1/4 daily, weekly, and monthly. Like you saw some different kind of charts what I have, but just the mainly like the most important. Like this is important. Like this area is important. Oh wait, this area is important because we lost that area. We need to gain that area to go here, right? Just go step by step. And that's how you go. And then the downside, this is important. Why? Because we facing that area and we going lower. We still didn't gain anything. And in between, you play ping pong, right? And easier than that doesn't get. Just one of those things where you don't want to miss. Yeah, I get crypto. Yeah, I'm just getting to go swing long and I'll say enjoy it. No worries, man. Good one. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's true. For me, it's hard to plot them on the smaller time frame. High and low because I was confused as how much they scream. But okay, firewoods. So that means you don't. I mean, okay, yes, you can do them on from 1 minute to, for example, 15 minutes chart to plot them. But that doesn't make much sense to do them because you're gonna be 99% the time busier with plotting those levels on the lower time frame, and that those time frames moving very quick. So you need to be sharp and quick on those time frames when you're scalping. The thing is, uh, when you plot them on higher level, higher time frames, so 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily, they always stay here. So when you go to 15 minutes time frame, right? Over here, you still see those levels, and they are still your point of interest on the lower time frame. You don't need to plot them on 15 minutes because that doesn't make sense. It's behaving way too quick, and you need to be more focusing to take the trades and manage your trades and plotting those levels. The levels what you plot is when you come in, open the trading view, you set up for the day, and there you go by. And there you go just on the lower time frame and take the trades. And now on the lower time frame, like you see, we didn't come close to your gain or loss, or mine gain or loss. This is my interest point. What we did, look at that, 4 hour low of the swing. Look at that. Over here, daily, loss of the week. We are losing it. And that's all what you need to know. And you just stray from those levels. You don't need to plot them on lower time frame. That's no necessary for it. Just keep the high time frame levels and go by that. Because they always, even on the lower time frame, gonna be accurate. Yeah, they seem differently on the lower time frame just because of the structure of the candles, but the levels stay on where they are. And over here as well, like you could take this short, this one, or even this one from only one level, right? Alts, do you use the alerts in alts to short them and narrow down to the stronger? Have you noticed that if you large amount of cells in their alerts using dump ratio versus a boy, most likely hitting general temporary downside? Girl, please don't plot the 5 minutes level because that doesn't make sense and that's gonna be way too hectic on your charts. Just use the 1 and 4 hour and go by that. Try to do that first. Oh, I think we seriously gonna fucking dump. Okay, crypto Toki. Alt. Yes, I do. I do. Firewoods, I will come back to that one. Just give me a second because I'm seriously, I have still 30 minutes left because Kieran's coming early today. Um, yeah, uh, alt. Just give me any kind of alt, and I will go by that. Just random alts because I don't want to take my alts because I know them. Sui. Oh, okay, easy. Same thing. It's always going to be for me. It doesn't matter which ticker I'm using. It's always going to be the same thing for me. Why? Because it doesn't matter what's the numbers on the sides of the trade view says, which let me which ticker it is, and what kind of volume it does, or what the oscillator does. I don't give a shit. Seriously, I'm going from the daily, sometimes even higher time frame. I'm going by that. So for me, right now, okay, daily. What's the interesting point right now? So this was your high. This is your low. Was from this high. We lost this right on the daily. Easy. What was it? Let's see. And look at that over here as well. Good example, right? Loss of the yearly. This was your gain of the yearly, of the open of the yearly. What did we do? And then you lost it, right? Good example of the levels, guys. Keep in mind. And then you just go lower on the time frame. Still, December, we kind of been above it, but now we lost the December. Okay, that's important for you to know those December weekly and everything in between. So there it is. That's a daily. This is quite important for me because if you gain this, then eventually you will gain that one as well, and then you go to the yearly. So this is my, let's say, this is my daily high of swing because that was the high, and this is the low. of the swing actually, and now we are losing of trying kind of ways to lose the daily, right? This was your daily loss of the swing. Then go to 4 hour, see how that behaves, and see my daily levels are quite in the same level what I plot them, because they are, and the 4 hour is different. And now what we're doing, we testing the daily low. Lose this, I mean, yeah, that's the downside only, you know. So I really want to see any kind of potential to short it. It will be really nice if this price action will come a little bit higher and you could short the failure of that one, but eventually it wasn't that strong buyback, and now you just go to the downside. So see if you could have another failure over here on a daily, because right now what you're doing, and don't get me wrong, this was your daily open, you go above, and now you're failing the whole daily. What you should do right now in potentially bearish backtest it and then go from there lower to November. That's how I will read it. If I really want to trade Sui right now, then this is how I will go do it. If I was loss of the daily, it's a daily. A 4 hour is the most important as well. If not 4 hour, then 1 hour, and then daily. Everything below 1 hour, it gives you kind of a significant area, but it doesn't give you straight information. It's a loss of this level. It might be a pullback as well, or just a retracement. But 1 hour close already is a good sign. 4 hour is very good sign, and daily it's don't deal. Yeah. So how could you see a support by that wick back? You mean this or this? Wait. Well, support by 1.9. 1.9. Jesus, the trading view is killing me today. Oh, which wick do you mean? 1.9. Oh, this one you mean? Okay, yeah. Yeah, so the thing is, like, I'm not really going by wicks. Why? I like it more to see more clearly. So this gives you, I know I'm gonna break some brains about it. That gives you a more perspective, like how the price action is going, and that's the most important, right? So we didn't gain it, we lost it, fail it, kind of gainish, but then you lost it, and we're losing right now. So what's the price action saying? To the downside, right? That's what gives me the vibes right now, and it's true because we're still going to the downside. And wick, yeah, you might say you're gonna fill the wick, but then if you fill the wick, you go lower because that's the last what been back tested. So you still can go to November, April, Q2. So that's how I read it. That's how I see it. That's why I say like the structure is the most important. There is nothing else important than the structure. And going by that, failing, losing, gaining, that seriously one says to another, right? You didn't gain any kind of levels over here or even this structure, you go to the downside. Try to hold this level, then you might go higher. You lost it because we had a big ass wick, what invalidates really the whole fucking move, and now it just go to the downside. That's how I read any kind of chart of any kind of ticker what I'm get in front of me. I just want to see like, okay, what did the most important levels hold, lost it, or gain it, and go by that, and then keep your structure intact. Why? Because next what you want actually is kind of what you say, filling the wick, right? But this is kind of the level what you want to see holding, because that was your previous high before you went to the all-time high, I guess. And this is as well one of the resistance what created on the move up. So you might see any kind of reaction. If not, then there is November and Q2 next to it. And There is nothing else. If you go to the upside from here, if you have any kind of push, okay, that's fine. But then December and weekly is your resistance. Why? Because you failed this level to go to the upside before, and now you're gonna retest it. Even if it's this one, I'm gonna mark it in the red because that's gonna be more clearly. And even if it's this one, so this is your resistance right now. From there, you take it further. Gain this, gain December, go to the yearly. Yeah, oh sorry. If I say loss of gain, it's most of the time it's 4 hour. It's the most important. If not, then daily or 1 hour. Are you always watching the chart on trades? I assume you can limit that easily. I'm trying to trade around job. Mate, the easiest thing is wake up, check the charts, and mark the most important levels what you want. For example, if this interests you, okay, this is to the upside, but now I want to see any interest level to the downside. That's this. So we have two levels, 1, 2, right? If you don't want to watch this price action, easy. Click it on the level, add the alert, right? And write down if SUI came to this level, potential long. And then do that as well to the opposite side. Click right. SUI came to this level, potential short, right? Set it up, go away, wait that your alert's gonna be hit, right? So you alert's gonna be hit over here, come back, see how the price action behaves. If it behaves in the way that means we go down, we gain any kind of structure on the lower time frame, you can put a long in it. You can put any long position on here, right? Oh, sorry. You could put any long position over here if you're gonna mark your interest on it. And then you see if it holds, continues, take profits, and this is your next area for interest. Because then you know if the price actions comes here, you have any kind of potential to short it. Why? Because it's a resistant and it always will be, even weak on lower. So you will see any kind of movement on it, see if there is any kind of loss of structure on the lower time frame, and you dong it, right? And that's how you manage trades. On this is quite short. I will cover this in the further my sections. But this is if you don't want to sit behind, because there is no necessary to sit behind the charts constantly 24 hours and look for the trades, just mark it and always lose the alerts, because those alerts will alert you on email, on mobile, on TradingView. You can put it on many kind of things, and just mark your trades. Even I'm lazy and I'm doing it in the evening. I put the levels in, mark the trades, go to bed and see what hits. If something hits, it will wake me up, or I will see it in the morning, and then see if there is a potential to short it or long it. So seriously, that's the easiest way to manage it if you don't want to sit behind the trade constantly. And there is nothing else about it. I mean, you can set it even on the even easier. Said you can set your alerts on oscillator, for example, right? If oscillator uh, over here. Uh, if you're gonna see any reactive entries, warnings, bullish volume, bearish volume, divergence, trend change, strong reversals of anything, set alerts on it. Get your alerts on the oscillator, so you're gonna see if the price match what you want to see on it, and then come back to it and see if there is any potential for long or short it, right? And it's same with different Algo Master as well. You can set alerts on that one, and that's even like on the bots. So the easy thing is on Bitcoin, for example, right? If you go to your Bitcoin chart and imagine you set up a bot without setting the bot actually in real life, just set this up on the alert that gives you this the buy and sell signals, right? If you see, if you have sell signals, so there is a potential to short it. Maybe you're not going to short the top or long the bottom, but still there is some indication for you to show you that you might have, yeah, any kind of quite good positions. So there is plenty of ways to do that without being on the charts constantly, and there is no need for doing that, right? So yeah, I guess I will need to wrap it up right now on my recording. So thank you very much. It was a little bit rusty after a week being away in the mountains and doing some crazy stuff, but I hope it was quite clear. I hope it was interesting for you guys. I will see you on the YouTube comments. So for now, it's all. And I might stream it on the Friday, the monthly close. That's quite interesting for me in the night. But let's see how that goes. If not, we will see each other on Sunday fireside. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. See you on the flip side. See ya.